Hi, my name is Leonardo Garcia, and I'm original from Mexico City, but I'm living in the States for here in Texas for 18 years. Uh, I came from Arizona. I live in Arizona for 15 years. I'm been in New Mexico, Las Vegas, California, and now I'm living here in Texas. I'm started working in the restaurant industry when I was 16 years old, washing dishes because I kind of don't like school, so I kind of left school for a little bit. But as soon as then, I've been loving the kitchen. Actually, my background is more like a French cuisine. It's been fine dining restaurants. This is the first time I do a Mexican food. Well, actually, I was kind of trying to. I used to help a lot of people, a lot of my friends, open up restaurants. And I was kind of scared to open my own restaurant. And I got a bunch of friends. They used to tell me like, "Why you don't open your own? Why you don't open your own?" And finally, in 2021, when he was almost in the middle, I take the big step in open Limon Con Chile here in the 1 and 10th Street. That's where we start. But we're gonna try to do something a little more original. We don't try to do like a Tex-Mex. So what we did, we just tried to get the menu from South Mexico to North Mexico, and also like I say, my background is not Mexican. It's more like a European or French cuisine. So we kind of mix a little bit of everything in there. Like an example, right now we have very something that's very popular, and it's pretty simple. We call it French bolillo. Actually, it's French toast, and what we do, we serve it with creme brulee. And also some of the sauce we make is more like we use a lot of French techniques, braise. I mean, when we do a deglaze stuff, flambés.
Okay.
So no, actually, I create all the menus. I create the recipes, and every time when I get somebody, I work with them for like 2 or 3 weeks, and to show them what we do. Sometimes take a little longer, but that's what we do. Yeah, actually, I think that's what kind of make the difference, because like I always try to kind of explain to my friends, the ones that want to open a restaurant, if we just gonna keep doing the same thing, I mean, you're not gonna grow. So what we did, we just kind of use like my experience being working in the kitchen and doing all of those things, and to use it and just kind of, I'm gonna say, transform a little bit of the traditional food. And also a lot of people, we don't know, a lot of us, we don't know how big is the Mexican cuisine and how many things you can do. And everybody thinks like, oh, we're gonna do enchiladas, we're gonna do burritos, because it's like normally most of the restaurants we do. And that's when I say, you know what, we just gonna try to create more different things with traditional ingredients and very original ingredients that came from Mexico. So I think my main interest is gonna be the short rib, okay, the braised short rib, because the way how we do it, like I say, we kind of use a little different methods to do it. So yeah, so we do, when we do this short rib, we cook it for about 16 hours. We just do it pretty slow. Basically, we cook it in the evening, and we leave it all night long, and we take it like today at 10 or 11 in the morning. Well, I'm gonna say probably if it's gonna be for dinner, yes. But if it's gonna be a little more for, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's gonna be, I guess Limon Con Chile is more known because of the chilaquiles we do. I'm gonna say probably we are the first one, the first restaurant we do a lot of different chilaquiles. Before he was just like anywhere you go, he was green and red chilaquiles. And after that, we right now in the menu, we already have 16 different chilaquiles now. Matter of fact, today we changed the menu and we add seven more chilaquiles, different salsas. I'm gonna say pretty much we go with the flow, because like sometimes, like an example, in Sundays, like right now we go like they call it 6 pence. They hold maybe like a 1 quart of sauce. So what we do, we just say, you know what, today is gonna be a busy day. We use like 10 of those. What makes you about maybe like 70 or 80 chilaquiles. So and the other sauce is gonna be 4, 5, 6. So we just gonna be metric, how busy we doing every week, and what's the most popular. So right now the most popular is gonna be the poblano.
I think I tried that one.
You like that one?
Yeah, it was good.
And right now we implement another one. This one is a little more cheesy. We do serrano chiles, which is spicy, and with cheese sauce and serranos.
So you have everything from not so spicy to like really spicy.
Yes.
Okay. Are you? Where do you fall in the spice level? Do you pretty spicy?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I actually, fun, because I own a Mexican restaurant. But this is I'm gonna say maybe the second time I do Mexican food. Most of the times has been European or different gourmet.
Okay.
So, and like an example, the way how I ended here in Midland, Texas, which I love Midland and Odessa, to be honest with you. Before I say, I came from Arizona, blah, blah, blah. Now I don't want to go back to Arizona. I used to be the executive chef for Midland Country Club. I was working in Midland Country Club for 7 years. Probably. But I'm going to be honest with you. I was trying to open it maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. And really, we don't really have that much market. Or before, we don't have that much market to do it. And but I think now it's a lot of market, you can open your restaurant. But right now I'm working in my retirement, so I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna be able
We'll
to do
see
it.
how long you last retire for. You're really
Right?
busy.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so we just got a lot of huge plans to open another restaurants. So I think the plan right now is try to find the right restaurant he can grow and try to make a chain and we're gonna say we can create it here in Medland and Odessa, and we can go from there.
Okay. Are we gonna see another Limon Con Chile maybe?
No,
More
it's
one?
gonna be something else.
Okay, something else. Okay.
Pretty
Cool.
soon.
All right. I'm excited.
Thank you.
It's
I think I'm gonna say the key is try to find the right people, and also a lot of people they afraid to teach people how to do things because they think he's gonna go and he's gonna open his own place, blah blah blah. And I think most of us we got to kind of forget about these things and just teach them the right way. That way they can help you. Because by the end of the day, it's only you. You're not gonna be able to manage just 3 or 4 places if you're not gonna be able to teach them the right way and the things the way how you want it to get done. I think that's the key.
yeah, we're there.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I know a lot of people they don't like. I don't like micromanagement. I do love micromanagement, honestly. And I think that's one of the things is gonna be like, okay, guys, when I go in each location, this is what we need to get done. Like 3 times a week or 4 times a week, I'm in all those places, and we talk about it, and I go and I say, hey, okay, this salsa is wrong. Why this salsa look like this? And I've been learning. So like the way how this salsa looks, I can tell you that's not the right recipe. That's wrong. You gotta fix it. And that's what I try to explain to all my kitchen staff, my managers. When I walk in here and I tell you, what, that salsa is not good, and you told me you don't even try it. Well, I've been doing that salsa for a year or 6 months, whatever, and I create the recipe. I can tell you about the color, by the smell, and I don't even have to try it. I can tell you if it's spicy, and then you look like what? Say yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, it's your baby, really. You work on it for so long, and you're doing it over and over, and then it just becomes like quick. When you look at it, you're like, yeah.
Yeah, but like I say, I think that's the more important. You can trust your people and tell them like, I believe in you, so and don't hide anything. Just show them everything. I mean, see if you hide something, it's gonna be worse for you because just imagine like what you said, having 2 or 3 restaurants. If you don't show them how to do things, they're gonna do it the way how you show them. And if you hide few ingredients, you're gonna go over there and you're gonna tell them, hey, you know what? Why you don't taste it don't taste the same? So I'm gonna tell you, well, this is what you show me. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna say the more important thing when you're gonna start opening your restaurants, don't be like me. Find you a bookkeeper. That's the first thing you have to do. That way you're not gonna get in trouble. I think the main thing is gonna be that. Make your recipes. You have to have steps. Sometimes we call it baby steps, because every time when you hire somebody, you need to have baby steps with them. Show them from where you can find the trash liner until where you're gonna find the steak. Because a lot of times, some restaurants they just go over there and say, okay, here you go, you're the grill guy. So this is the meat, this is what you're gonna do. And sometimes you run out of something and you send the guy to the walk-in and say, well, I don't know where they're at. Yeah. So gotta be these people. Most of my staff right here, the new guys. If you tell them, hey, I need you to go get me an example, a can of tomatoes, they already know where they're at. Because we go with them, okay, this is what you're gonna find everything. And dry storage, walk-in, bath salts right here. and teaching them. Like one of the things, if you open a restaurant, make your inventory. Check the days, because if you waste a lot of food, that's right there. That's your money. Inventory is very important, because a lot of times people, they just buy a lot of food, a lot of stuff, and this money is just sitting right there, and you don't need to have 20 or 40,000 and they're working.
Yeah.
So you gotta keep it in your bank. That way, if you need it for something else, you can use it. Honestly, we always try to kind of, like what you said, try to see how much we sell last year. Like an example, the first year he was kind of hard, because being honest with you, like the first 2 or 3 months when we opened Limon Con Chile, he was pretty slow. Sometimes we just gotta go to the store and buy a pound of this, pound of that. But now we just check how busy he was last year, and we go from there. And also, like, being in the restaurant business, you already know that, like, from the first of the month to 2 and 3 or third, it's slow, because everybody pay rent and they got to spend money and bills and everything. So we know it's gonna be a little slow.
The first couple days of the month.
Yeah, and also the first couple of days of the month, and sometimes in the middle of the month, it's kind of slow down a little bit.
Yeah, because
So-
like most people get paid bi-weekly on average.
So this is the way we're gonna say, okay, this week he was like that, so okay, you know what, it's vacations next week, so we need to cut a little bit the labor costs, we need to cut the groceries and everything, that we can save money. And don't spend your money. A lot of people, they just get a little restaurant and they go buy a huge house, huge truck, and 3 months later they broke because they don't save money.
Yeah. Would you say that's something that you were like, you put
Yeah.
kind of not last, but that was not your top priority? Because I feel like it's a little bit, I don't know if it's just a Midland Odessa thing or it's like a general thing, but I do tend to see it here a lot. It's just like you get a little bit of money and then you go spend 2 times what you actually can bring in.
I think the big advice what I give it to my guys, I told them, like the ones they pretty close to me, I told them, don't ever buy something you have to pay with your salary. I don't buy anything I have to pay with my salary, to be honest with you. I use my, I'm gonna say, whatever I have left is what I use to buy something. I don't have a big house, I don't have a new truck, I don't. If somebody told me, hey, why you don't buy a good car? I said, I'd rather buy another restaurant. Something he can create you more money.
Yeah, that's very smart.
That is, I think that if you really want to be success, is the first thing you have to do. And also, regardless to food, I think this is one of the main things I told my employees, especially my cooks. There's market for everything. You can do a bad food, and some people, they're gonna love the bad food. You can do good food, and people, they're gonna love it, but you cannot be in the middle. Because if I like bad food, I came to your restaurant today and you do it so good, I'm gonna say it's bad. I'm not coming back. And vice versa, right? If somebody else came and you don't like bad food and they like good food, they're not coming back. So you lose both markets. So that's why you gotta stick with the bad or good. It has to be one or the other one. You cannot just go back and forth. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did it more like I appreciate people that came and help me, because when we opened this restaurant, he was a lot of influencers came. And believe it or not, I'm gonna say maybe like a 95% of them, they came over here, they never charged me for anything, they never asked me for anything. And I feel so blessed because of them, we start getting a lot of business. This place started knowing more and more. So that's why I say, you know what, let's do something for them. Because really, most of the people, they even if you're an influencer or something, a lot of people right now, they try to do something and say, oh, you're an influencer, you're not coming over here, so I'm gonna charge you for this, because every time when you go to one place, you charge to do a commercial or something. Nobody charged me for anything. So that's why I kind of feel that way. You know what, I would really like to return something to them. And I think one of the more important things, like honestly, being an influencer or doing all of those things, I never thought he was that big, to be honest with you. I mean, I started realizing all this maybe last year. And like I said, it's a lot of you guys. I mean, you guys do an amazing job. And again, some of them, they don't appreciate anything. So you go to the restaurant, and because I saw few of my friends I have, they go and do a video for somebody, and I say, whatever. And I don't think so, because really, I mean, it's part of your life. I mean, a lot of people, they charge a lot of money just to make you like a 30 seconds commercial or something, Not to mention, just when you go to the radio, you go to the TV, how much you charge? $1,500, 2,000. Depends, when what hour you want your commercial. Because if you want it in prime, it's pretty expensive.
Yes.
And you guys got a lot of followers, and I really love what you guys doing. To be honest with you, all of you guys doing amazing, especially because again, a lot of you guys, you just spend your time and you guys don't get paid or anything. So, and I think it's one of the best things. We gotta try to teach the employees. I mean, because really, a lot of people they think, oh, like when you came to eat to my restaurant, you making us a favor. We're not doing a favor to you. You guys making us a favor because you guys came over here. It's like when in the summer, one of my friends told me this like a long time ago. When you cook, you gotta see it this way. He said, okay, just imagine it's a person right there in the middle of, I used to live in Arizona, I say, in Arizona, in the desert of Arizona, and you see a fridge right there, and he want a Coca-Cola. Watch Coca-Cola, he's gonna grab. The cold is Coca-Cola, right? The one is more cold, right? Say, yeah. So, and this point, this is what you need to be.
Cold Coca-Cola.
Exactly, because otherwise it's gonna go to it's gonna grab another thing. So that way, when you open up your restaurant, when you do something, you need to do it with passion. If you're gonna serve something, if you're not gonna eat it, don't serve it. And that's the thing with me, to be honest. And a lot of people, or the ones that work for me, they know me for that. If you told me, like, you know what, this is good, I'm going to grab this spoon and you're going to be the first one that's going to try it. And some of them before happened to me, it's like, well, I don't want to try it because it don't look good to me. And my first answer is like, well, if you don't think it's not good for you and it's going to be free for you, why you want to serve it to somebody who's going to pay for this? I mean, we need to be mature and say, it's not. I prefer to say, I'm sorry, we don't have it. And you can get mad at me because I don't have it and say they serve you something wrong.
On that, do you feel like there's a little bit of leeway just in the sense that like everyone has like its distinct palate, or do you feel like because of you are serving the Mexican food but with a twist, you feel like you kind of know your demographic?
I think honestly, the demographic we have right now, it's that we don't have like just people like more like we're gonna say Tex-Mex people, because they are more like it's kind of bad, it's like no flavor and spicy. Is what they want. And we got few people that are that way, like, oh, it's spicy, oh, it's not spicy, I don't want it. There's no flavor in it, and you try it, well, it is a lot of flavor, but all what you want is just spicy. Like somebody told me a long time ago, they say, oh, you know what, the menudo you guys make is sweet. And okay. So he said, my wife is going to cook one tomorrow and I'm going to bring you some. And honestly, he was super spicy. I can eat it. The first spoon, you just burn your palate and you can taste anything anymore.
Yeah.
But for him, he was good, and that's okay. So, and I think it's the way why we try to explain to people and we try to tell everybody. This is the main thing. When somebody came over here, you got to explain to them, we are not West Texas or South North Mexico food. We're not Tex-Mex. So if you like to, we can bring you some different salsas for the chilaquiles, enchiladas, whatever we make. You can try it first. And if you don't like it, it's fine. I mean, we're not gonna get upset because somebody say we don't like that. And also every time when somebody say, I don't like that, want something else, we just give it to them, anything they want. And we got that little book, and we have in the book, they say, we rather lose a taco and lose a customer. That's what we write in there. So it's funny. Yeah. So we every meeting we have, we just try to kind of implement more things and try to make sure that the servers understand, like, I mean, I say, you guys, you see my check, you see the check, and I sign the checks. But the truth is, like, I don't pay you guys. The customer pay you guys. So, I mean, we need to take care of every single person that came over here. He can either spend $5 to $100. It's the same thing. It don't change. And honestly, this is one of the reasons we don't have a full liquor license. We just do beer and wine because of that reason. Let's be honest, most of the restaurants right now, they just try to do bars, a restaurant bar. And if you go over there and you order an example, a ribeye, and right beside you on the other table, somebody else is drinking, they forget about you. They keep it more eye on the person is drinking because they make more money out of him. And I don't think it's fair. To me, I don't think it's fair because my money and your money, they have the same value. We should take care of us the same way. And they don't do it anymore. And it's a lot of bars here in Medland and Odessa, they don't care about you. They just care if you're gonna drink. If you don't drink, you just gotta be in the corner and just make sure he got water and it's okay. But this guy, he's the king, so you need to take care of him. I don't think it have to be that way. And that's the reason we more like a family restaurant. So people they say, hey, we're gonna serve the tequila. I say, I love tequila, but we don't serve tequila. No, I think it's more like like I said, just make sure you keep your inventory right. You know, your food cost low and your labor cost. You know, so but I think the more important thing for me, I think is more like take care of your employees. Because I'm being honest with you, I'm very restricted, very very restricted. But I'm not that kind of type of boss like I say, oh, yes, it's low today. You need to go home early because this is low. We don't do that. I mean, we understand all of those things, and we say, you know what, this is low, it's fine. We understand they gotta pay bills, they gotta work for at least 40 hours or 40 hours. That way they can make their payments too. So we don't take nobody home. We make sure all what we care is they can take care of the customers right. They can make sure anybody working here, they can be happy. Yeah. So, and I think that's the main thing. And no, we don't, honestly, sometimes, yeah, like what you're saying, just go up and down, but we just try to make sure we put money on the side. That way, when it's slow, we don't have to worry about it. Well, we have that, like we mentioned, we have 3 restaurants. The one in 10th Street, we open, I'm gonna say Wednesday through Monday, from 8 in the morning to 3 p.m. The one in Midland, we open 7 days a week from 8 to 3. The only one he have long hours, it's this one in 7th Street, 1806 East 7th Street. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and Wednesday we open from 8 to 3. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday we open from 8 to 9 p.m. Well, honestly, we got a huge things coming up. Hopefully in maybe 2 months. Just keep on, and you guys gonna love what we're gonna do. Like I say, we're gonna try to open another restaurant that's way different about Limon Con Chile, but also we're gonna try to keep the same environment. We're gonna try to keep some good recipes, that way people can like the food. And we really appreciate for all the support for every single customer that come here, the good ones, the bad ones, and also all the influencers like you and the rest of the people that came over here. Thank you so much.